Ayo, it's your boy Tony, and today we're doing the racket review on the Victor Thruster F.
Would you be my done? I still got a lot of shit to learn.
I have been looking forward to this racket for a very long time now. I first saw this racket back in mid-2017 and I finally picked it up back in December. I'm a little late on the review, I know, however, I did get to test this racket a lot. This racket is beautiful, and I'm not even just talking about the looks right now, but I mean, like, you got that really nice matte finish along the entire racket. Very nice color scheme in my opinion, at least. And you have Tai Tzu Ying's signature right there. I know it's really hard to see. Two of my favorite players that actually use this racket right now are Tai Tzu Ying. She's #1 singles Taiwanese player, ranked #1. My second notable favorite is going to be Hans Vintinghus. He's 17th in the world for men's singles right now for Denmark. I love that guy. I mean, both the players have a unique style, and I think that's why I really wanted to get this racket. So this racket uses the tri-formation technology, something new to the Victor line of rackets, which combines 3 different frame systems and put into one. They're using the Sword, Aerodynamics, and Power Box. I know it's very hard to see from there, but just take my word for it, okay? The top of the racket, it's a little bit thicker, a little bit wider, and it's a little bit heavier. That's to really give that extra oomph when you're going for that drive, the clear, and especially the smash. So towards the middle of the frame, they're using aerodynamics technology. What this means is it's a little bit thinner, meaning it cuts through the air a little bit quicker. Gives it extra little bit of control and a little bit of maneuverability wherever you want it. So your defense is going to be much stronger with this racket. So towards the bottom of the frame, it's actually using a thicker material. This is to really help with that anti-torsion that they're always boasting about for this specific racket. What I mean by anti-torsion is when you're trying to actually physically move the racket, it's very hard to do so. On some rackets, when you actually swing it just like this, you can feel it right in the cone that it's very flexible, it's really jumpy, it's really jittery. So a few things that they're boasting about this racket is the head is actually about 4% bigger, meaning when you do a miss hit, it's going to be a little more forgiving. So they do boast about the anti-torsion as well, saying it's about 15% more anti-torsion than any other racket right now in the market. Compared to other Power Series rackets, they are saying this racket is about 20% more powerful. Really? 20% is a lot. And lastly, they're talking about how they're using the new technology, the Powerfill material, to give it that extra enhanced structural integrity, so it can actually hold up to 31 pounds in terms of tension. If you haven't seen this racket in person yet, I think you're missing out. I want to take some time out of this video to really show you how gorgeous this racket really is. So I've used this racket for about 20 to 30 hours of actual play time. That's talking about games, just testing the racket in terms of small drills like clears, smashes, drops. And I can say for attack, very powerful racket. I haven't used a racket like this in a long time. And what I mean by that is when I'm going for that smash, I feel it cutting through the air very quickly. And it's not because it's head heavy. It's because of the technology they've used in it. It's using kind of like a brave sword technology where it cuts through the air very quickly, but then because it's head heavy, you get that extra oomph to give you that nice smash. The smashes I can say are 20% stronger than other rackets that I've used. However, I can say it's a very sturdy racket and I like it for attacking. So my drives, my punch clears, very similar in terms of easy to hit. I mean, like, the racket does most of the job, to be honest. When it comes down to defense, this racket is fantastic. But not after a few extra hours of play. What I found was this racket was actually a little bit harder to use. It wasn't as user-friendly as I thought it would be. And I mean, that's my fault. With any other racket, you have to make an adjustment, and I didn't do so for this one. So what that means is when I was blocking a smash, I was hitting the top of the tape or just underneath the tape, and it wouldn't go over the net. And this happened several times. And it wasn't because the smash was super strong or anything. I just was not used to how stiff and how much anti-torsion there was to the racket. After a few extra hours of play, I did find out that I had to use more arm rather than just wrist, and it made the difference. When they smashed me, I could block it wherever I wanted to, I could return it with a clear, It was very easy to do so, and I mean, all it took was just me adjusting to the actual racket, playing with it for a few more hours. So when you first use the racket, don't get deterred away from using it. It's actually a racket that I think is probably one of the best on the market right now. As expected, touch shots with this, very, very easy. Because of the sturdiness of the racket, the control is phenomenal. When I wanted to do a net shot, I could do a net shot. Net tumbles, cross-court net shots, even deception at the front. Very easy control, and that's, again, my type of play. I like to do a lot of deception, meaning I can't have a flexible racket. I have to have high tension on the racket as well. Backhands are effortless. If you have the right technique, your backhands are going to go as far as 2 courts. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, the backhand is very easy to do. If I want to do a backhand clear, a backhand drop, easy control, very sturdy, and again, it whips through the air very quickly, meaning you can actually probably hit that birdie before it goes past you. And for backhands, you never want the birdie to go past you. Actually, any shot, you don't want the birdie to go past you. You have more control when it's in front of you. And going back to the few things that they did boast about, having the head a little bit bigger, the anti-torsion, string tension, I gotta say that they are pretty much on point with almost everything. I found that the racket is very forgiving when I did a miss hit. I don't do it often, but I mean, at my string tension around 28-29 pounds, if I was to miss hit, it would break. I'm stringing at 28-29 pounds. They did say the structural integrity of the racket can go up to 31 pounds. I string my own rackets, and towards the top, that's kind of the most fragile part of the racket, around the 10-11 o'clock. When I'm stringing high tension at that area, I don't see the racket deformed in any way. It's very, very minimal. Anti-torsion, they have that on point. I mean, it's 100%. I feel that it's probably one of the most anti-torsion rackets I've ever used in my life. I've used some very stiff rackets before, notably the MX80 by Victor as well. That's a very, very stiff racket. I don't think this racket is as stiff as this racket, but anti-torsion wise, I think this is notably better. And lastly, 20% more power compared to other power rackets out in the market right now. No, that's a lie. Impossible. I really don't think that's even possible unless they're really compared to the lower end stuff, and they don't tell you what kind of rackets they're comparing to. That's a fact, and I really don't like that because there's so many different types of rackets out there. So just to give you an idea of what I'm actually comparing this racket to is, I use other rackets such as the Superwave 37 by Victor, the JetSpeed 10, the Spider-Man limited edition rackets, Voltric Z-Force 2. That's kind of where my comparison is headed towards. And I use a lot of different rackets. It's really hard for me to name every single one of them. My bag is constantly with either 5 or 6 high-end rackets at a time. Thank you for tuning into my first YouTube video. I know there's still a lot for me to learn in terms of how to edit the video, in terms of the actual racket review. However, I mean, if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment below what you liked or disliked about the video. Let me know what you want to see in the future. I'm going to try to continue making badminton videos, whether it's going to be how to grip a racket, doing specific shots, or just continuing my racket reviews. Anyways, until the next episode of Smash That Review. Peace!
Would you be my? It's the done, I still got a lot of shit.